Hi, my name is Aden and welcome to another episode of Pintorama. I'm here today with a very special friend of mine, Linden Bayliss. Now, I've known Linden for about 15 years now, and we became adventuring buddies when we went to UMD as freshmen together. And over the last 15 years, Linden has always been the type of friend that has provided a fresh experience and a fresh perspective for me when I've often felt the creative struggle to see my own struggles. And because of that, Linden has always been the type of friend that is present when everything is overwhelming. And she's the type of friend that will always help you chase your dreams, even if it feels kind of outrageous and wild. Because Linden is the type of person that will always believe in you, even when you're not believing in yourself in those strongest and hardest moments. Her words are not only powerful when they're spoken to you, but they're powerful when they're written. Linden is a magazine editor as well, and she uses her gifts to spread the word and inform her audience every day of what's going on in the city. Linden has always been a very steadfast and grounded person, but that certainly doesn't stop Linden from traveling around the world and even across this country and state. Linden's support and her kindness are shown in her relationships, whether they be work, friends, or family. Linden's always going to do her best for you to make sure that you're walking away with a smile on your face. Almost on every project I've ever done, Linden has been a part of it. And I wouldn't be here today without her. Just a magical person. And Linden, thank you so much for coming here today and being
so
a part of my
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and paint with you today.
We actually have a special prompt today, and that was offered by our guest, Linden, when she posted a comment on our Instagram page. And Linden, what are we doing today?
Yeah, so I just thought, I know, obviously you're a huge movie lover, so I thought it'd be fun to paint a scene from one of our favorite movies. So that's what we're doing today.
Do you think we should let our audience know what we're painting today, or just let them find out at the very end?
I think let's let them find out at the very end, and then we can maybe talk about our movie when we show
little teasers.
Because I think we should tell everyone about the scene and why we like it, but we wait to do that till the end.
Okay, I like that. I promise I won't peek.
Okay, but maybe we can do a little teaser about the genre.
All right.
So it's Lord of the Rings.
No, this time I promise, guys, it's not Lord of the Rings. Well, it's
all
not
my
even
guesses
Hobbit
are
related.
out the window.
I will say it's definitely something that helped shape me in how I love to create things and talk about things. And I'm a big horror fanatic. So if those who know me, and this is a challenge for you, Lynn, if you really know me, the type of horror I am going to draw is based off of or what I'm going to draw is based off of the horror genre that I really love.
Okay. To be honest, I'm not a big horror fan, so it's a good chance I haven't even seen this movie, but I'll try and make a guess.
Okay.
Mine, I'm a big fan of slice of life type movies, indie kind of slice of life movies, so I'll say it kind of falls in that category.
Nice.
I feel like you might have a good guess. Or you might be able to narrow it down to
I won't say so first off, I'm going to use my phone. I know we don't usually use our phones, but I'm going to use my phone because I'm having a hard time drawing what I'm going to draw. But I like to think of one of the indie movies that we used to watch all the time together. There's two, and I'm not saying this is what you're drawing, but the movies that I think of a lot that we used to watch together growing up was 500 Days of Summer.
Yep. Did we watch that together?
I know, I feel like we did.
Yeah, no, that was one of my favorites, yep.
And Garden State.
Yep. I will say, that's a movie that I loved when I was 18, but I even remember when we watched it together in college, I kind of fell out of love with it, or it didn't really resonate with me anymore. I think because the dialogue in that movie is so cringy. When you watch it as an adult, it's ugh. But when I watched it as a teenager, I was like, oh my god, this is such a quirky relationship. I love it. But I don't think I could watch it anymore, to be honest with you. But the soundtrack is what really makes that movie, in my opinion.
Who did the soundtrack for that again? Or the Shins, right? The Shins had a song in that, right?
It's not really any one artist did it. It's the Shins do have a song in it, but it's there's the Shins, you've got Simon and Garfunkel, there's a little Coldplay. If you know the song what's that song? In the Waiting Line by 07. It's kind of you would know it if you heard it. But anyway, good soundtrack. I haven't painted in a while, to be honest.
Do you feel like it's a good outlet for you whenever you get the chance to?
Yeah, for sure. It's like, it's very meditative. You can like just focus on doing one thing, which I think is helpful. So I remember when we were at UMD, I was like kind of flailing my first year, you know, like what do I want to major in? And I remember just kind of taking a lot of random classes the first year, and I took a drawing class. And at that time I thought, you know, you were either good at drawing or you weren't. Like I thought it was just, you know, there's always those kids in elementary school who were just like, you know, prodigies at art. And I always thought, oh, I'm not like that, you know, I can't draw. But it really is a skill. Like that's what I learned in that class. It's kind of about like learning how to see, you know, like when you look at something, like what are you actually seeing? You're seeing light, you're seeing different hues, and it was really interesting, and I surprised myself with what I could do by the end of that class. Don't know if I could still do that because I haven't practiced, because I was, you know, doing it every other day during that class, but I enjoyed it.
You know, looking back on our days at UMD, do you remember what like inspired you to go up north?
For me, honestly, and this is so funny for me to think about now, but I wanted to major in criminology.
That's right.
I wanted to be when I was 18, I wanted to be an FBI agent. And like not fully, I don't think I really fully understood the implications of that, obviously, but I took my high school, you know, we went to a pretty wealthy high school, or like a wealthy area, I will say. And so we had a lot of access to really cool classes, and I took a forensics class when I was in my senior year, which is so crazy that they offered that. Like we would do like DNA testing and fingerprinting, and I thought it was so awesome. And obviously, like, you know, those TV shows were so big when we were growing up, like CSI and NCIS and all that stuff. So, you know, I saw the TV version, I took the class, and then I was like, I want to do that. And so UMD had a criminology program. So it was that. I think the other school that had a forensics type program was Madison in Wisconsin. But Madison, they had a lot higher like GPA requirements, I think. And I did pretty well on my ACT, but my GPA was not very good by my last year of high school because I screwed around a lot, especially with math class. Like I think I almost failed math a couple times, and that really just brought it down. So anyway, I could get into UMD, and they had criminology. So that's how I ended up there. And I remember like driving through it with my parents when we would be driving home from like farther up north, and it seemed like a cool town. You know, the lake's pretty. I'm kind of an outdoorsy person, and it has that vibe. So I think it was just a combination of all those things. I could afford it, I could get into it, and they had a program I wanted, which I think I only stayed in criminology for maybe like 3 months. And then I switched. And then, oh god, I switched majors like 4 times my freshman year. I could not get my shit together. Yeah, so I ended up majoring in English. I think I did criminology. Then I was considering, I think, like, art teaching. I considered doing music. And then I showed up to, like, the guidance counselor, and they were like, oh, well, what instrument would you play? And I was like, shit, I don't play an instrument. Or I was like, and I didn't want to do saxophone. Like, I did play saxophone, but I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to do something cooler. And I was like, damn it. So I wouldn't get into that. And then art teaching, I was like, I don't think that's going to make much money. Let's not do that. And then I decided to do outdoor education, which also I was like, I don't think why would I get a degree in that? And then I was like, all right, English. So,
gotcha. Yeah. I feel like math in general and like anything like that, it was always a difficult subject to learn because my mind just still can't deal with numbers.
Well, I'm like good with numbers. My problem with math was like, well, one, there was so much homework, like homework every night, which was just ridiculous. Especially when you're in high school, I don't know. I've always like been like, you don't need to do homework. You're a kid. I mean, you know, just like you go to school for 8 hours. Why do I need to do homework? I mean, I still have that opinion. It's not just like my little teenage rebellious brain, but so a lot of homework, and like they always had specific methods that they wanted you to use to solve problems. And that was always my trouble. Like, I could get to the answer, but I was going to do it in my really inefficient, roundabout way. And the teachers, like, didn't like that. You know, they were like, why don't you do it this way? You're doing it so much harder. I'm like, that's how my brain works, you know? So I always had that problem, too. And just, like, yeah, I wasn't about all that homework.
Ever rebellious?
Huh?
I said ever rebellious?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the homework wasn't enjoyable. Like, I didn't mind reading stuff for homework. You know, that was a lot of my, you know, that's a lot of your homework for, like, English and history and stuff. But just having to solve a bunch of equations, and there was always so much, I just, like, nah.
Do you feel like there have been, you know, if there was one, not even high school, but just, like, school in general, do you feel like there has been, like, a great lesson that you've learned that you've been able to apply and just, like, it's helped shape you in your adult life ever since? Like,
That's a tough one. I mean, the things that come to my mind first are honestly, like Spanish, for whatever reason. Like, language comes to mind, because I feel like it kind of teaches you to, like, really listen to people, and also, like, how to really explain what you're saying. Because, right, like, if you're learning a new language, you don't have all this complex lingo. Like, you know simple words, and you have to try to convey, like, your thoughts with just what you know. And I always found that kind of a fun, like, brain exercise, because, you know, I remember taking I think it was, like, Spanish 4 my senior year, and the class was in Spanish. Like, the teacher would only speak Spanish, and she would make us do this exercise where, it was, like, trying to, like, talk around something, like, I don't know, yeah, just explaining things using the few words that you do have. I thought that was useful, and just, like, you know, I don't know. I thought language in general is just a really good thing to take, and I'm kind of glad that, like, we were required to take 4 years of language, which I think was unusual. Like, our school just made us.
Oh, no, I totally understand.
But I think it was really good.
Like, one thing I was a bit surprised of, too, like, you know, UMD, because we were both Lib Ed students, when I transferred over down to the Twin Cities, one of the requirements of a Lib Ed student in the Twin Cities is that you had to, you know, also be able to know a level 4 another language. Like, in this case, I stopped taking Spanish at Spanish 3 in our high school, but when I went to college at Twin Cities, I had to almost start over from scratch. Like, almost like if I was back at a high school freshman level, like, speaking in such poorly translated Spanish that I just, it's laughable. I mean, I probably can't speak as great as I did back then now either, but I just think I think it's a good idea for it to be a requirement to have people learn another language, because once again, it's thinking critically. But I think there is some sort of detriment to only having, like, an X amount of student body be able to, like, be forced to learn that opportunity, or be in a position where you have to learn it, otherwise you're not going to be able to graduate.
Well, and a lot of it also was, like, learning about a different culture. I mean, like, a lot of Spanish class, more than just language, it was about, you know, what are these, like, holidays in Mexico, or what are, like, these customs. You know, you learn about Dia de los Muertos, and I think, like, even learning about that stuff so young, you know, we started doing Spanish in 4th grade, I think, kind of opens your mind, and, like, just kind of teaches you about another culture and immerses you in another culture. And language is so important. You know, the way we talk about things kind of gives some insight into our culture as well, you know. So I thought that was really good. And listening to Spanish music, like, I actually discovered some artists I still really like today through some of the music that we listened to in those classes. So it was cool to experience that too.
Who are you jamming out to now? Or, I guess, still jamming out to?
Well, one favorite that I discovered in Spanish class, her name's Julieta Venegas, and she's Mexican, and I'm trying to think of how to describe her music. It's almost like indie mariachi.
Okay.
I don't know it's really kind of its own thing. I don't really know how to describe it, but just her melodies and her lyrics, you know, I didn't understand all of it, but I could understand it enough that I don't know, it resonated, and I still like her music. I don't really like keep up with her. I've never seen her live, but that's something that's still kind of on my bucket list, like a bucket list concert. But she does, you know, she only performs in like Baja California and Mexico mostly. I don't think she really tours the US very much, but I'm always, you know, I need to keep my eye out because I would love to see her.
What made you want to study abroad in New Zealand?
Well, I was an English major and they spoke English, and it wasn't England, which just didn't interest me, I think, because of the weather. And I mean, obviously, I was a Lord of the Rings fan as well. I still am, and so that was a factor. You know, you see all those beautiful landscapes, and I knew all the sets, you know, like Hobbiton and stuff were there, so that was a factor. But yeah, basically I knew I could take English classes, and it was more interesting than England, so that was pretty much it. And we had just a good relationship with a couple schools there, like our university did, so it was just it was nice that they offered it.
Because you were in the North Island for your studying abroad, right?
Yep, good old Hamilton.
What made you want to study in the North Island compared to the South? Or was it just like what was offered?
You know, I really don't remember. I went to Uni Waikato, which was in Hamilton, and then there was the only other option was the University of Otago, which is on the South Island in a city called Dunedin, which I feel like, did you go there when you were there? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a lot of Scottish heritage down there, and that's kind of known to be a party school. Yeah. Which back then I feel like would have intrigued me, but I honestly don't know why I decided to do the North Island. It was maybe it was like the classes, like the way the credits transferred. I really can't remember, but I just ended up there. I probably wanted to be close to Auckland too. I think it was just there was like, you know, more major cities closer to it, so I think maybe I figured I could travel around easier, but I couldn't really tell you, honestly. Hamilton is not known for being the most interesting town. I mean, I think it's gotten better in recent years. They've really tried to make it cool. But back then, it wasn't the most exciting. It's very, like, suburban feeling, but...
Would you say it's, like, quality or, like...
Oh, better than that, I think. Like, there's, like, actually kind of, like, a cool, kind of thriving, more city-feeling downtown area, but... it's definitely like sprawly, it's suburban, it can be a little sleepy. Like I remember one of the biggest things that stuck out to me when we would try to go out is like nobody goes out on Friday there, which is so weird to me. It was like, Saturday night was like it, and people go hard on Saturday night, like real hard. But it was, like Thursday, Friday wasn't really a big thing.
Did you miss partying at those times, or did you?
Well, back then, you know, I was 20, right? So I couldn't drink at home legally, but there I could. Yeah. So we couldn't, you know, if I was at home, I couldn't go out at all. So I appreciated just being allowed to. I mean, that was pretty cool, you know, when you're 20 and you can, was I 20 or 19? I can't remember, but I mean, that was cool. Having my first legal drink on the plane. I had a vodka ginger beer was my first official, like, legal drink. I was on a Qantas flight, so if your flight is run by, like, an international carrier, you abide by that country's laws. So I was like, yes, Australian airline. So had a vodka ginger beer, watched a movie, and went to sleep. I can't remember what movie I watched. But
when you lived in New Zealand, did you have the opportunity to, like, travel to Australia or any other, like, parts?
I didn't go to Australia, but I did go to Samoa, which is a little Pacific island. We went there for our spring break, and I think honestly, I love New Zealand, but I think that might be one of my favorite places I've ever traveled, just because I'm a beach girl, and it's the only real like island vacation I've ever done. Well, I guess minus Hawaii, but I was sick for that trip, so Samoa was definitely more enjoyable. But yeah, that was really cool. We were there for 2 weeks over our spring break, and like a bunch of so when I was in New Zealand, I lived in like it was like a student housing area, but it was little cottages, like 4-bedroom cottages, and it was all international students. So I made friends from all over the world, and like a big group of us went to Samoa together, and that was really cool.
Are you still in contact with any of them?
Like we're Facebook friends, that kind of
Yeah.
contact, and like, now and then like we'll comment on each other's stuff, and like, I feel like on the inside I still feel like I'm close with those people. Like if I saw them tomorrow, we would, be able to pick up kind of where we left off kind of thing,
Yeah.
because we got pretty close. Like I met some really great people studying abroad, but we're not like, we don't see each other regularly or anything like that, because everyone's so spread out. It's just hard, right? Like some of my closest friends, like one of them, she lives in Botswana, and then another one, he's from India, and then my other close friend, she was from Tonga, which is another little Pacific island kind of by Samoa. And then my friend Josh, he lives in I don't know where he lives now actually, but he's somewhere on the West Coast. He's kind of he hops around. But anyway, yeah. If I saw any of those guys like tomorrow, we would be chatting away.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you have a lot of opportunities to just like crash on or couch surf, in all these different countries.
I could, and I really haven't taken advantage of it, unfortunately. The only place I did go was like a year after I came home from studying abroad. I went to visit some friends in Copenhagen, Denmark.
Okay.
And that was cool. I went by myself, and sometimes I don't love traveling by myself abroad, to be honest. Like it's just kind of scary, especially like in Copenhagen where I had a language barrier. That was tough. Like just kind of trying to like navigate the cities and like catch buses when you don't speak the language is really daunting. But that's the only place I've really gone to like visit people.
Alright, I'm gonna try and take another guess at what this movie is that you're doing. Have we watched this movie together before?
I actually don't think so. But we maybe have. I might just not be remembering, because I used to watch this movie all the time. Especially in college and high school. So I feel like maybe, but I don't think so. Like I don't have a memory of us watching it together. Like it doesn't stand out, so I actually don't think so.
What is your favorite memory with this movie then, for yourself?
I don't have one. It's just one that for whatever reason I just loved it because of how quirky it is. And I will say it's a kind of a polarizing movie. Like it's a comedy, but it's not a laugh out loud comedy. It's more of a roll your eyes comedy. But I just like it. I don't know what it is. I think it also has a good soundtrack. A lot of 80s music.
Okay.
I just like it. I don't know. It's just quirky. I've just always liked it. I think it was just one of those movies that like if I was having a bad day or if I like didn't have plans on the weekend and I was feeling kind of sad about that, I could just put it on by myself, eat some mac and cheese, and I would just like feel okay. It would entertain me and it would make me smile and I wouldn't feel alone, I guess. I had a lot of movies like that when I was that age. Like, I think movie nights, like, solo movie nights have always been just something I love. Like, even in high school. Like, I honestly, you know, while I guess I did, like going to parties and whatever, tried to fit in with that crowd, like, 100%. I would always rather be by myself watching a movie, like, a really good movie.
I get, there's like, just a very unique experience about that. And I actually think back to another time of when we were at UMD together. And I'm not sure if we watched this movie together, but I know it was in a class with the same professor that you and I had, and it was Mark Stanfield, that kooky guy. And the movie was The Purple Rose of Cairo. Did you ever watch that movie?
It rings a bell, but I don't remember liking it that much. It's true, like, I don't remember it. Like,
I only saw that once, and once again,
can you remind me what was that one about?
So it's a Woody Allen movie, and you know, it's
Woody Allen.
It's I once again with Woody Allen, it's like the artist or this art, and I the artist is a piece of shit. Pardon my French, but like I do enjoy his movies. And in The Purple Rose of Cairo, it's Mia Farrow who's like in this really kind of crappy relationship. I think this takes place in New York. And
of course. This doesn't really help. Yeah.
And it takes place in New York, and it's Mia Farrow. She's having a fight with her boyfriend or fiance, and he's like, get out of here. So she leaves, and she goes to the movie theater. And this is what she does to de-stress and lose herself into this fantasy, and to a point where...
Okay, I do remember this now.
Yeah, to a point where, like, the one that she's, like, she's watching this movie with Jeff Bridges, and Jeff Bridges is, like, the superhero, and, like, he literally comes out of the screen as the character, and, like, he, like, goes on this adventure with Mia Farrow, and, like, Mia Farrow is just encapsulated and loves it, and just losing herself into this fantasy. But that's the thing, it's just a fantasy, like. And I feel like that movie really spoke to me, because as a person, I remember feeling at that point, like, yes, movies were a huge means of escapism for me, especially solo movie nights or solo movie days to the theater, just because things were so stressful in college. I mean, they're still stressful now, but, like, in college, it's like, oh, I want to see myself in this character, and in this case, that's what that character was. Just a person losing themselves in a movie to a point where they really couldn't tell anymore. You know, with your trips abroad and across the country, and I'm looking at what I'm drawing right now. I'm feeling it's kind of spooky. Have you ever, like, experienced, like, this sounds weird, cryptids or any other, like, spooky things on your adventures?
I wish. No cryptids, but I mean, I guess, like, honestly, some of the spookiest things I think I've encountered when being in the outdoors is just, like, the sounds you hear at night.
Okay.
Like, there was one time, I think Ben and I were camping in Kentucky. We were doing a backpacking trip in Mammoth Cave National Park. They have some really cool hiking, backpacking sites. But we were sitting around the campfire, and it wasn't super late, but it was probably like 10 p.m. and off in the distance we heard like a pack of wolves howling. Ooh. And it just kind of makes you feel really uneasy. You know, I'm like, they're far away, but it's like, what if they're hungry? You know, like, what if they're closer than we think they are? Like, 'cause you can't really tell where they are, but you just hear, like, oh, oh, in the distance, and you're like, oh my god. I mean, honestly, this isn't wolves, but I've been scarred ever since I watched Grizzly Man, the documentary. Have you ever seen it?
No, but I've heard crazy things.
The documentary is actually really good. Actually, that's not what scarred me. I was really idiotic, and after I watched that, I was like, out of morbid curiosity, I decided to listen to, there's a recording of when him and his girlfriend got eaten. Oh. Like, it's on film, because there was like one of them had like accidentally turned on a camera right before it happened, and
that's horrible.
So the whole thing is captured on audio, and it's the most horrific thing I've ever heard in my life. Don't do it.
I don't want
but
to.
My dumbass was like, I'm gonna listen to this. And ever since then, I've had a fear of grizzly bears. But you should have a fear of grizzly bears, right? He didn't. That's why he got eaten. He thought they loved him, and he was saving them. And it's a fascinating documentary. I would definitely recommend that. Just don't listen to the. Just don't look up the audio.
So besides being wary of bears, what are some other lessons you've obviously learned out in nature that you feel like you could apply in your real life that's kind of changed you? Because obviously, when you experience something to that level, even though you haven't, but when you see someone like that, obviously they didn't learn enough lessons in life to feel like it's comfortable and smart to hang out with bears and do all these things.
I mean, I guess I feel like I've kind of just learned, I mean, this sounds cliche, but it does just kind of teach you to appreciate the simple things and, slow down. I mean, when you're backpacking, right, you're so focused on survival that you don't really care about anything else other than, eating a hot meal and, putting on dry socks, things like that just are the best, drinking something that's not water. I remember, I think one of the last times I did a backpacking trip, we brought powdered Kool-Aid packets, and we accidentally bought unsweetened, which I didn't know existed. There's not sweet Kool-Aid that just tastes really fruity, and it's got the coloring, but we brought that powder, and it's when you're just drinking, crappy iodine treated water all day, every day, and then, because you don't have refrigeration, right? You can't bring milk or coffee, I mean, we had coffee, but just having a, Kool-Aid, unsweetened Kool-Aid, just just how good that tastes, just the simple things. It just kind of teaches you to, enjoy that stuff. Because you don't have anything else when you're out there.
Oh, no, I totally get what you're talking about. One of my sweet treats that I used to, treat myself to when I was in New Zealand was, those Oreo bars. That was, the thing I looked forward to most whenever I got close to, civilization again.
Oreo bars,
It's chocolate covered bars, right? And inside the bars were Oreo bits.
I don't think I've had that.
Canterbury. That's right. It's Canterbury Oreo something. I'll have to find some and give you some.
Sounds good.
Oh, they were so good. They're so good. That and instant ramen were staples. And pizza. Oddly enough, of course, I made time to eat pizza when I was in New Zealand. Hell's Pizza was my favorite.
I love New Zealand, but that's one food that we do a lot better. Pizza, yeah, I'm not going to rip on it too much, but we do it better. All the good pizza places in New Zealand are owned by New Yorkers.
Yeah, what was it? Fat Badger.
Fat Badger and Sal's.
Oh, Sal's. Sal's was so good. Oh. I actually forgot, how often, it was surprising to see, these, pizza places show up there. I think the biggest thing that was surprising to me was the amount of KFCs that were in New Zealand.
Oh, God, yeah, KFC's huge there for whatever reason. Yeah, they love their KFC. Okay, if you're gonna pick, speaking just on the topic of KFC, if you're gonna pick any fried chicken fast food, what's your go-to?
Ooh. Popeyes.
Yeah, me too. Good answer. I love Popeyes. It's so much, but Chick-fil-A, I'm sorry, but I don't get it. Every time I've had food there, well, one, their company culture is not good, but, the chicken's, burnt and small. It's it's just not, I don't get it at all.
For
Popeyes
me,
is good.
Yeah, for me, it's the dill seasoning, because, I don't like...
Is that what they do at Chick-fil-A?
I feel okay, so I don't eat at Chick-fil-A, but we've bought Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets that or off-brand Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets at Sam's.
Yeah.
And it just was dill seasoning.
Huh.
Like with it, and it's just like that's the norm. It's
that.
like original flavor with dill, and it's just like. I guess I can see why people are like would be into that.
People love pickle shit.
Mm-hmm. I know how to pickle pickles, but I actually want to like learn how to do other pickling things, and like other like artsy, crafty food things. Like learning how to do like sourdough would be really cool.
Sourdough's fun, and it's just tasty. I mean, like sourdough's fun. I would recommend. It's a lot of requires a lot of attention because you have to keep your starter alive, which it's not actually that much work. All you have to do is pretty much remember to add new flour to it once a week, literally. But it's even that, it's like one more thing on your to-do list that you can just forget about.
Right.
And so it's hard to maintain it. But it is delicious. Like, even if you just do it for a little bit, it's fun. I also had the problem of like just eating the whole loaf right away because it's so good when it comes out of the oven, like straight out of the oven. It's hard to leave it.
All right. Well, I know how you've been such a fan of this series, so you know what time it is. It is surprise prompt.
All right.
So, with that being said and heard, I have my D.
Do you roll it or do I roll
D20.
it?
Okay. I'll let you do.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Next time.
Okay.
All right. So. All right. So it looks like we got an 8. Based on the Scroll of Destiny. 8. Well, you're lucky. It's guest choice. So guest gets to tell the host what they need to add to their painting.
Oh, I get to tell you something to add. Okay. So I get to see it then?
Yeah, you get to see it. This will be interesting. So this is what I have so far.
Okay.
And this is what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Let's see.
You can either be kind or cruel.
Add blood somewhere.
Okay. I can do that. I love that. Awesome. All right. Find the red. I'm really glad it wasn't the one that we had to destroy anything.
Yeah.
I would have felt really horrible if I had to destroy this beautiful painting of mine.
You could have just destroyed a tree.
Do you feel that since we started, your painting skills have gotten better?
No. Yeah. No, I mean, they're alright, but yeah, I haven't done this in a long time.
You know, I remember chatting earlier with a previous guest about how I also kind of feel like my hands have had issues, and I call them stupid fingers. And that affects a lot of things that I try to do, especially skills that I want to try and have and do. But, you know, do you ever run into any of those issues? Or I guess, you know, if you want to use your hands, what's a skill that you pretend that you have, but you absolutely don't?
Baking.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, like, I try, but and I know it's a skill you can build, but I just don't think a lot of the things I try turn out that well. Like, it's, like, I was doing biscuits for a while, and, like, they were good, but they were dense. Like, I feel like everything I try to make, it's just dense. Like, what did I tried to make recently something, and it just turned out like absolute garbage. Oh, ginger snap cookies.
Oh, no.
They were hockey pucks. Like, they were little puff. Like, it did not look like a cookie. And I followed a recipe. I don't know what the hell happened. I just like, I've got a brown thumb when it comes to baking. But I try, and
Yeah.
I still like bring things to gatherings, and you know, people are nice, but I guess if something tastes sweet and like bread, you know, it's like baseline is gonna be okay, you know. So there's that helps. But yeah, it's a struggle. I will say though, after you asked that question, I really want to make pineapple upside down cake again. 'Cause I made that turned out good. It's one of my favorite desserts.
Was
It's
that
like,
a pretty difficult thing to do?
no, not at all. It's like Betty Crocker Cookbook 101. Like, it's like canned pineapple, maraschino cherries. It's like, I mean, it's just kind of a basic yellow cake recipe, and then you just like smother it with that canned fruit, and it's good. And brown sugar. It's like caramely and fruity, and you use vegetable shortening, which is terrible for you, but it just like makes the texture good. I think it's like my grandma used to make it a lot when I was a kid, and it's one of those things where it's just, you don't think about what's in it, basically, but it's so good. It's so delicious. Okay, I think this is getting really close to being done.
I think mine is.
How's yours?
I still.
Did you add your blood?
I'm trying to.
That looks cool. Looks like fingernails.
No. It'll do.
It's still scary, but it kind of looks like a claw.
Yeah, I still gotta add a few things, but I'm almost there.
Nice.
You know, this thing to me is starting to look a lot.
You should try this metallic blue. Did you see this? That's
No,
kind of like the color of your poster.
See, that's what I was thinking, but like
But you're the artist. Don't listen to me.
I'm trying to think, because this thing to me is looking more like a Bigfoot than what I'm going to present to my audience. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, like, one thing I like to think about that I don't know is exactly true, but I like to believe in it because it's a conspiracy theory. I like to think, like, there's some really cool, like, things hidden in Lake Superior. Like, I like to think that there's Viking ships hidden in Lake Superior, because that lake is so deep and so dense and so dark and so cold that it definitely preserves things. And we know that the Vikings showed up in Minnesota long before. So, like, it would make total sense to me how they would get into the state and go inland would be from that lake. So, I have a buddy, I'm not going to name him, but he'll be on this episode, or on the series eventually, and I'm going to confront him about it. But he, to this day, and I've told him about this since high school, does not believe that there's any such thing as Vikings and Viking ships being in Lake Superior. Huh. I'll fight him on that.
Okay.
But my question to you is, what is one conspiracy that you want to believe in and are willing to, like, I wouldn't say die on that hill, but to fight on that.
I don't really have a lot of things I would die on a hill for, honestly, especially when it comes to conspiracies, because I think what I like about conspiracies is that there's a lot of things we just will never know. So I think I'm particularly drawn to things like, you know, aliens. Like, do they... I mean, I guess I'll die on the hill that aliens exist, because how could they not? It just doesn't make any sense to me that they wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many galaxies are there? You think we're the only life? That just seems self-centered to me, to think that. So I suppose maybe, you know, religion probably plays a role in people that don't believe in aliens, but it just seems too self-centered to me. Like, there's got to be something.
Didn't we just, like, have some report that, like, someone was saying, like, ah, yes. Oh, yeah, it was Obama saying, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Aliens totally exist.
I saw that. And
this was, like, I think, like, a month or so ago. And so, like, I'm thinking, well, if aliens exist and they have the means to, like, travel across, like, I'm assuming there's no close aliens, like no aliens on Mars or no aliens on...
No, we would know that.
And then plus with the Artemis 2 taking those photos too, I'm sure we could have probably seen something.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, there's so much. Like, it's so big, we don't even know how big it is. So it's like, of course there's got to be something else.
I like to think of that movie, what was it? John Carter, where like they can go to Mars and he gets this power because he's used to Earth's gravity. He's able to jump and do other some like cool things. But like, you know, when we think of space and the ability to like move things around, I'm kind of caught in between this idea of like having the power to choose either controlling space or time. And I would personally choose time because I feel like I have so much things to do. I would rather stop it, do the things I have to do, and then enjoy what I can in my present by not doing anything I have to worry about.
Hell yeah. What would even be the benefit of controlling space?
Teleportation. You can teleport yourself to a different space. I mean, to be able
I guess
to
what
like.
do you mean by controlling space?
So it's like
because I don't really understand. I mean, controlling time, I can understand that.
Because you can move forward, back, and
right. You can freeze time. You can make it go faster. Like I get that, but controlling space, what all does that mean?
I like to think of maybe like a form of like telekinesis. So like you can move things around. You can be like painting.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Duluth, and then you create like a warp portal or a warp gate, and then it's suddenly in Duluth or wherever you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're controlling space, it's like you can like erase the space to begin with. So like you could like almost do like a force pull or like rip through the fabric of space and like grab something from the fridge and then pull it out. Like you control space essentially.
Yeah.
Versus like you can rewind yourself and freeze time to like not make a can explode as it's about to explode on you if you like shook it up.
Well, yeah, it's an interesting question because I do feel like controlling time could be easily abused and it could make you crazy. So I would worry about that because I'm kind of always borderline crazy. So anything that could make me go more crazy isn't appealing, but it does seem useful. Like, I feel like one of my main stresses in life, especially with my current job, is like not having enough time to finish things and not being able to meet deadlines. So if I could just freeze, get all my shit done, like you said, and then it's just like, oh, it's done. That would take a big weight off my shoulders. But I just think like as soon as you give yourself the ability to go back in time and like change things, like even just knowing that I could do that, it's too tempting. So I'd be afraid of that while it would be useful. So maybe that does change my answer because that would worry me. But controlling space, I guess I could travel more. But then if you're not controlling time at the same time,
yeah, who knows how long it takes for you to get to that space.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's a tough question. I guess I didn't really answer it. I don't know. Maybe I still would choose time just because I can see the usefulness of it right away, but it does scare me.
I kind of agree, just because like as a person that's kind of like, I always feel like I'm a perfectionist, so it has to be done right the first time. Mm-hmm. How many times, if I was in charge of time as a time wizard, how many times would be the first time? How long would it take me to get it right until it's finally done? And as a person that values the time, at some point you just got to be like, you got to be done with it and just got to let it go. Because if you're so hyper fixated on the thing, maybe you're just wasting time by even having the power to control it. You know what I mean?
A lot of things to think about.
And I like to think, and maybe I'll do an episode about this for my Hemsworth series, but like, I feel that like having the power to bestow someone like that, you have to be very careful with. But since I don't control the power of time or space, and since I know you're a pretty awesome person, I actually have a gift for you.
Oh.
I know, it's kind of a long-winded way to get to this point. But I do have a gift for you. My issue is that I could not really determine which one I felt was befitting of you. So I'm going to give you the great choice of deciding which one feels the most like Linden.
I kind of like the one with the handle. Can I like hold? I feel
yes,
like
please do.
Harry Potter. Like which one? Let me give it a little flick. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this is the bottom, right?
Yep.
This one. Okay, this one feels good. This one's good. I'm gonna choose this one. Thank you.
Good, of course. And the reason why I couldn't decide which one was the right one for you is because the handle, well...
Sorry, I like to make that stick noise. I'm gonna whack him in the head.
Well, there we go.
That noise? Sorry.
No, that's awesome. I think that's exactly what I'd expect nothing else from you to do.
You gotta break it in, right?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Of course, my pleasure. Just don't, thwack it too hard. No, just kidding. It's pretty sturdy. It's hemp, and hemp's pretty sturdy.
Nice.
It's just very light.
All right. So what kind of magic can I do with this?
Well, the best way to learn how to do any magic is to watch Hempserts. Episodes 1 and 3 eventually coming out soon. But
Nice.
1 and 2 are out. But the best magic that you can do with that is, I would say, instill your endless pursuit of making things as Linden as possible. So for me, what that means is just being honest, saying things with your gut, and not exactly feeling like there are many regrets. Just awesome decisions that have made you who you are today.
All right, it's the Linden magic.
It's the Linden magic.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks, Linden. So, I have one last question for you, and that's to help wrap things up. Because I feel like this is a very important question, and that's, when life is really starting to push you down, take out your inner fire, because I also call you Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do to help bring it back?
That's a tough question. I feel like I was kind of feeling that a lot at the end of last year. So, I guess in a way I do like the new year to kind of reset. Even though, everyone does New Year's resolutions, whatever, it can be kind of like an eye roller, but I think it's a good time to kind of just everything slows down, right? And then you have time to reflect and think about what you want to do. But I guess my answer would be just try to slow down and really think about what I like to do, because it's easy for me to forget what do I even like, sometimes I'm just working all the time and working and seeing friends, and I feel like I don't do things that recharge me. I don't focus on that. So it's just trying to find those things and doing them, I guess. Even going back to just I talked about watching movies alone, just finding a really good film. I like getting inspiration from stuff like that. So watching film, watching theater, just making time for more walks, just being outside. That kind of stuff. I just do those things that let me recharge. So being outside, watching a good movie, just getting absorbed in stuff that I genuinely like. Because I'm not always good at doing that, but when I do, I always feel better.
I think the one last thing we have to do now is show our audience our amazing paintings. On the count of 3, we're going to show it off to our audience, and then
all right,
we'll go from there. 1, 2,
3.
3. All right. So I was able to add a little bit of the red, and luckily I was able to make it bloody.
Nice.
As you said, my little werewolf has some fingernails. Goes a little clickety clack. And for me, I couldn't think of a proper scene. However, there's a really cool poster of this movie called Dog Soldiers. It's honestly my 3rd favorite movie. And you'd believe it or not, Lord of the Rings is not my first. But this movie, Dog Soldiers, I saw back in 2002. And ever since I saw that movie as an 8-year-old, it's absolutely shaped me for the past 24 years. How it's made, how it's edited, just cinematography, the vibe, everything about this movie. I cannot stress enough how much I love this movie. So I did my best to recreate the poster from it, or a scene that I feel is very fitting of it, and that's what this is.
Nice. So what's the premise of this movie? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, so Dog Soldiers is about a group of Marines that were just on, like, English Marines. It takes place in the Scottish Highlands. And these group of soldiers are tasked to just go on a training mission to see what's going to happen to them as they are exploring the wilderness of the Highlands. Well, little do they know something else, or potentially multiple things, are in these woods with them, and it's just a non-stop action siege movie of these soldiers trying to defend themselves with, ill-equipped weapons to take on these werewolves that are taking them out, hence dog soldiers. So while the movie has a B-ish rated title, the movie itself is just
Wait, so... Okay, I get it now. This is a werewolf.
Yep, that's a werewolf. So
that's his shadow?
So this is the person. This is his shadow casting silhouette of the werewolf. So I wasn't able to properly do this, but what I was trying to do is showcase, like, this is small, and the shadow or light that's coming from the moon, and there's no moon in this, but from the moon, is casting a shadow that transforms him into a werewolf.
Yeah. Cool. No, I actually think the red adds something.
Thanks.
I like it.
So, if you ever get the chance, watch that movie.
Yeah, I never heard of it. When was that? When did that come out?
2002. And
so
it was a sci-fi original movie. Wasn't premiered. I mean, it was premiered on the Sci-Fi Channel, but it wasn't made via through Sci-Fi Channel, just presented on it. So, with it being a very kind of low budget sci-fi original movie, I remember when it first aired back in, like I said, 2002, and I've been in love with that movie ever since. But how about you? What did you draw?
Okay, so I'll show you my printout too, although my printer was out of ink. But so I did the final scene from Napoleon Dynamite, the tetherball scene. First of all, I just feel like this is a great shot.
Yeah.
Like, in the film, like, it shows them just kind of like, just like that. I don't know, something about, like, the tetherball being right in between them, and, like, just kind of showing Deb and Napoleon's friendship. It's just cute. Like, the whole movie's just cute, and I like this scene, and then I also like the song. The ending song is The Promise by, what's the band? Do you know? It's like, oh my god, I can't think of it. When in Rome. Yeah, it's like 80s one-hit wonder, but
I love that.
It's just a good scene, and I've always loved this movie. It's like, it's an eye roller, like I said earlier, but
after that, I've only seen it once.
It's just so quirky. Like, you just have to love it. Like, I feel like maybe the parts are greater than the whole. Like, it has just some really good scenes that just make it, like, kind of just a classic. Like, it just has a special place in my heart. And I thought this, I was not about to try to do all these colors, so I was like, okay, this is a scene I could do, like, a silhouette. So I just, like, I'm gonna just go in black and white with it. So that's mine.
Awesome, I love it. And I love how you even put your name in there too.
We were in like 5th grade when this came out. I didn't watch it when I was that young. Like, I think I was too young for it, but I think I probably saw it for the first time when I was in high school. Like, one of my favorite things to do was go to Half Price Books and just buy DVDs of, like, movies I wanted to see, and that was one that I bought for myself. So, just became a classic. And like I said, the soundtrack is great. It's hard to beat. You've got that song, you've got Forever Young, like, during the dance scene. That was, like, my second choice with, like, the disco ball, and it's kind of a similar vibe, really, but, like, I thought this would be easier to paint.
No, I understand. No, fantastic job, Linden. Thank you so much.
Yeah, are you still going to do a wall with these? Like, is that the plan?
Yes. Yeah. So eventually, as I'll get more guests on board, I'm going to get this wall hopefully filled out completely, so we'll be able to show off these paintings a bit more often.
That's so fun.
Because, I just to see the compilation of where this series started to where it's going to go is just going to be a fun experience on its own.
Well, thanks for having me. This was fun. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, talking and painting at the same time, because I'm not a good multitasker, but it was good.
Oh, I think you did a fantastic
job. Puts you in kind of a good zone for talking. Like, it kind of helps ease your nerves, so it's a good combination.
I'm glad you had a good time. We'll have to have you again for the All-Stars. I'm telling you, eventually we're going to do Pintorama All-Stars. So We'll have all the guests here. Maybe we can make it a competition. Well, Linden, you got anything else going on in your life? And if so, tell us Seeing Stones.
Yeah.
That one, or that one.
Well, I actually do have something really big going on in my life. I have a big project I've been working on that's coming out in October. I'm pregnant.
What? Oh my God! Linden, oh my God, congrats! That's amazing! Ah! Linden! Yeah! Come here, oh my God! Congrats!
Thank you.
Oh my God! Do you know anything yet, or it was just...
I don't know, like the gender, or what do you mean? No,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
that yet. I won't know until like early June. So.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Yep. So
Congrats!
End of
Oh my-
October. It's gonna be a little Halloween.
Oh,
Little Halloween mini me.
cute!
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Well, of course, if you need anything from us, just let us know. And wow! Wow!
This is so good.
Oh my God! Well, I mean,
So that's what's going on in my
yeah,
life.
that's amazing. Well, I well, can you do me the honors? Because I don't think we're gonna cut this. Just press play. We gotta get going. This is amazing. I can't believe it. Well, honestly,
We'll have
thank
a
you.
lot of
No, this is,
celebrating too.
I'm baffled. Like you yeah. Oh my God!
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you guys.
Thank
Congrats!
you.
I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Well, honestly,
So we'll have a new addition to our crew.
absolutely the fellowship grows.
The
Well,
fellowship grows.
Yeah. Well, well, I guess I'd like to thank my crew behind the cameras: Kenny, Elise, Linden, and oh my God, there's everyone here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is incredible. This is, okay. Well, all you guys have to just remember this. All you have to decide is what to do with the time that's given to you. So go decide what to be and go be it. I'm Aden Lundstrom, and I'll see you on the next episode of Pintorama. I am so happy for you. Oh my God. Yeah! Oh my God!
It's crazy because that was my guess.
I saw Kenny go like that.